Hello, I'd like to show you how to use Google Maps for a special type of project. Perhaps you want students to explain to somebody how to get from point A to point B, or kind of give them a walking map, or just use some different tools in the Google Maps app that would probably not be things that you look at every day, especially if you're using like the maps on your phone. So let's go to Google Maps. First thing you're going to encounter is a map of the United States. We're going to create a new one. And it's just a basic map of the United States, but I want to give somebody directions. I have a friend that's going on a trip next summer, a trip that I took a few years ago. It's a canoe trip. And so every couple of years, things probably look different. And so I want to give my friend, who will be kind of paddling for 12 days, when they get to the end, to their destination, an idea what it's going to look like when they get to the final destination, and how to get from the river to the train station to come back to the pickup spot. Uh, we're going to go to Northern Ontario, right about here, to a little town called Moosonee. So we want to call this map Moosonee, Ontario map. We're going to save that. And one way that we can zoom in on that is to hit this plus symbol over here. And the little town of Moosonee shows up right here. We're going to be, or my friend is going to be, canoeing down this river, the Moose River. And this interesting fact about this little town is there are no roads that lead into or out of the town. There's roads in the town, but the only way that you can get in and out of the town is by water, by air, or by train. So when the canoe trip is over, the people on the trip are going to have to carry their canoes from the boat ramp to the train station. Now, right now, our map isn't really pretty looking, so I'm going to change the map to a satellite version. So there's some physical features that you can see. And if you've been sitting in a canoe for 12 days, there's a bunch of boat ramps along the side of the river here. You don't know which one you're looking for. So I'm going to kind of give them an idea what they're looking for. So this boat ramp right here is the pullout spot, and there's a church right in front of it. And so then they're going to have to carry the canoes on their head with their backpacks down to the train station, which is over here. There's a couple of things that I'd like to do for them just to kind of make their trip a little bit easier, especially if they're really tired and or they have to hustle to the train station because it only goes out once a day. So the first thing we're going to do right here at the boat ramp is we're going to drop a pin right here at this boat ramp. Okay. And here's pins. We're going to add a marker. We're going to add that marker right here. And we're going to call that boat ramp exit here. Some directions. That's for the person. And the next thing that we're going to do then is tell them, look, there's a KFC. It's been a long time. They probably had real good food, and not saying that fast food is good food, but when you're hungry, let's drop a pin. This is also the grocery store, the only grocery store in town. So we're going to call that the grocery store. That's one place they might want to pick up some supplies because the train ride is 5 hours. And it's expensive to buy food on the train. And the people that are on the trip probably don't have a whole lot of extra cash on hand. The last thing, notice there's a curling club, is the Moosonee train station right here. So this is the train station. This is where they're going to purchase their tickets. And the canoes themselves are actually going to ride in cargo, in a freight car, and the passengers' car is for, my friend and the group of canoers. So this is our canoe group. And so it's not a short walk, it's actually a long walk. And the best thing to do after we have marked the three wrong way, places that we want to go is then kind of draw a line to give them directions. It could be a walking route. Add directions, we could do that too, but I kind of like to draw a line. So a walking route from here to here to here and then to here. Now, we encountered a lot of mud because they're mostly dirt roads. And so point A to point B, they can stop at the grocery store along the way. And as far as our timing and our layers and all those kinds of things, those features are over here. Now, I just need to make sure that we are clear that they are at the boat ramp near the church. Let's kind of zoom out here just to give you an idea. There's an Indian reservation over here. This is pretty flat, but you cannot see the train station from the boat ramp, which is kind of the part that you need to communicate with the person that's taking the trip that's never been there before. Out here is the James Bay, and that leads into the Hudson Bay. If you recall from history, the Hudson Bay Company settled that area with some forts, and that was one of the trade routes that would collect furs to send back to Europe in the early parts of our history. Canadian trappers would bring those pelts to the river to the bay. The ships would take them back to Europe. Anyway, just wanted to give you a couple of ideas how to use your map and mapping function. You can zoom in here. You can print that out. They can take a look at it. And there's the airport. It's all tidy, nice and neat. You give a little intel and they can just kind of have a walking map and not have to figure it out, especially if they have to hurry to the train station. All right. Thank you for joining me.